We just saw the top 8 match conclude between Harald Rose from Germany and Alberto Conti from Italy. It was Pendulum versus Viking Cosmo.
Yeah.
And in the end, Cosmo showed us that it can be consistent,
Yeah.
it can be explosive.
Yeah.
That we knew. We definitely knew that it can be explosive. We also saw that it can be extremely consistent.
Yeah.
Thanks in part to Cosmo Town that allowed Alberto to return cards to his deck and not search, but draw exactly the card he needed.
Yeah, I mean, there was various times there where kind of he was using that effect of Cosmo Town. It does help a lot.
A whole lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the first game was quite interesting because it looked for a very long time that Harold had the entire game completely under control. And Alberto was falling down with life points just like 3-5 after 2 turns or something.
Yeah, most of that was his own fault. He paid for a lot of Cosmo cards.
Yeah, and then it just continued with him paying for various effects until he was ultimately down to just 200 life. But at the same time, he completely dismantled the field of Harold and took control over the entire match, so to speak.
That was the last effect he needed, paying down just to 200 life points, and then that was it. He managed to produce a board of 7,400 damage, leaving Harold on only 600 life points.
Yeah.
And then, next turn it was just a simple amount of damage to get.
And like we said, he was completely out of cards. He drew and he saw, okay, there's nothing I can do. Second game just now, we saw the why you don't want to be like an open door, inviting the Cosmo monsters in, because they're going to take advantage. If you invite one of them to the party, all of them are going to show up.
Yeah, I don't really know why he decided to let Alberto go first.
That is true. That's a very good question, in fact. We've seen that like every time somebody does that this weekend, it seems like they are going to get punished for it.
Yeah, we've seen it quite a lot on the feature match.
We do see that players go first and lose, of course, but like every time we've seen somebody go, he lost the first game, he lost the second game, he has the choice to decide who's going to go first in the next game, and he opts that the opponent goes first, he's going to get punished for it almost every single time this weekend. So one takeaway would be, don't do this to your opponent. Don't be a nice guy.
At least not this format.
Yeah, at least not in the top 8.
Yeah.
If you want to make it to the top 4, to the semifinals. All right. The interesting thing about Harold's deck, of course, is he had a million one-offs. We have so many different cards. Very hard for the opponent to make it out. Yeah, Secret Village of the Spellcasters, of course. A painful decision. That's a die.
Unexpected die.
Unexpected die. Yeah. Draco.
Face off.
Face off. Yeah. All of these cards, and they are in German, so we have to translate them first.
Yeah, I mean, he just played so many one-offs that it feels like that's not a consistent way to.
But then again, all of these cards put in some extra work for him. Give him flexibility. It's a weird trade-off. It's on the one hand, you're more flexible. It's harder for your opponent to get an idea of what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But you can also fall victim to your own deck very often.
Yeah.
Okay. In his side deck, the standout card in a way is a Necro Valley card that we didn't see in quite a while.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything right now, or we didn't see it at least.
No, most of the time we have recently been seeing it against Cosmo.
Yeah. Alberto, on the other hand, was
obviously
playing a very consistent version, or it looks like a very consistent version.
I really like this. I've not played Cosmo since the original Fire King Island build where you played 3, but this build seems to be really, really strong, where you're just playing one Fire King Island just to give that potential of producing those crazy boards, but not kind of investing too much, having to play double Garunix, having to play the triple Fire King Island, just putting the a little bit of raising of the ceiling in there.
Yeah, it seems like a good balance that he found. Overall,
definitely.
The deck, I think at no point did we feel like, oh my god, he's completely left with a dead hand.
No.
And it seems like this deck is going to have a hard time trying to accomplish that.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially with double allure as well. That can only go up to 3 allure next.
That's true, yeah. Anything here in the side deck that stands out? We saw the Dark Hole being activated in the second game to destroy your own card to get your hands on a Farm Girl. A one-off in his deck, and that was also quite clutch.
Yeah,
very big.
Yeah, that was kind of there was several plays that kind of decided the game, but all in the same kind of string of moves.
Right.
So having the Dark Hole for that, knowing to do that farm girl. Same with the slip rider when it was able to destroy the eccentric. Just that was a game-winning move.
Absolutely, yes.
Otherwise, the eccentric would have just taken out the twin twisters.
Right. Anything else that you feel like pointing out here in this deck list where we're like, this is something that you guys at home should check out?
Well, the fact he was playing triple Giga Brilliant and triple Corbage is a little strange.
Yeah, we didn't see them in the feature match, though.
No, we didn't. It just seems strange that he's playing a full 3 copies of all those.
Right. Well, guys, that is the analysis of our top 8 match. We're going to return shortly with our coverage, of course, of the semifinals of YCS Rimini 2016.
Long ago in ancient times, a sacred game was played of both spirit and mind. 7 items hold the mystery, puzzle eye, string rod, scale, and key. Who will make the final stand and make the move? The answer lies in your hand. And whether you win or lose, hangs in the balance with your card to choose. Trust in the heart, the heart of the card that'll do. Remember to trust in the heart of the card. Time to do. Long ago in ancient times, a sacred game was played of both spirit and mind. 7 items hold the mystery, just trust in the heart of the
That was our analysis of the feature match. We can do some more analysis with our winner, Alberto Conti. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now the semi-finalist. I think this is your best result that we at one of the bigger events. Is that correct?
Yeah, I also made 3rd place at the Italian National
Oh,
this
okay.
year.
Oh, okay. So
And
it's good year.
top 32 at European with the exact same list.
Oh, okay. So, you did also play that at the national championship?
A little bit different.
little
Still
bit.
Viking Island deck list, but with a different choice in the side deck.
Okay. So you feel really comfortable with this deck?
Yeah. I play this deck since Island came out, and I think
Luke was looking at the list, and he really liked the mix of cards, that you're only playing one Fire King Island, one Fire King Avatar Garunix. How did you decide that this is the correct mix?
well, the first thing testing the Island was that it's really good. You make insane boards and invincible boards. But the problem with Island was Maxi. So I decided to play also some traps in the deck.
Right.
Because Mojo and Cold Hunted to fix this problem.
Right.
And they were really good because once you open with Island and they Maxi you have to stop because someone Tink and just
Right.
you have to stop. But
Of
with
course.
traps you can still play the game.
Oh, okay.
Also, with this, I came with the choice of 3 Tinkan, which is strange, I think. But the problem was running traps that if you open like with 3 or 4 traps and you don't have a good pilot and a good ship,
Yeah.
you need just Tinkan, and Tinkan just
Can
just
get you
the
out
best,
of that.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that certainly seems like the correct line of plays. What stopped you at the European Championship?
In the European Championship, I lost in top 32 against the PA Phantom Knight.
Okay.
Game 1, he go first and I go second, and I was going to OTK him with Viking Island, but he maxi me, and I still said I thought I can still beat you, and I just go for insanely OTK under maxi, but I just made a huge mistake.
Oh.
And I leave him at like 1,000 life points left, and he has like 20 cards in hand because he drew up maxi. And then game 2, I just drew the Viking Garunix.
Right. That must hurt.
Yeah.
But obviously you recovered. What was your takeaway? Did you do even more testing prior to this tournament?
Yeah. Once the European Championship finished, I was kind of waiting for the ban list, but I still testing this deck at, with my friends, and we tried to fix it, like changing some things. But in the end, we thought that this is the best.
It's a good choice.
It's
Okay.
the best for choice for
All right.
for us.
Speaking of the list, what's going to change in the future? Are you still going to be playing this deck?
With Destroyer at 1,
Yeah. Probably not.
probably yes.
Probably yes.
I have to test it because the problem with this deck is Monarch. Monarch is the harder matchup, but with the ban list, I think Monarch is
It's going to
gone
be
for it.
going down. Yeah. Everybody
So,
keeps saying
yeah.
that. Yeah.
The combo is still great even with other ships. So Destroyer is a great card, but you can play even with just one Destroyer. Also because when you go for TK, you can always Sleep Rider destroying the town and add the Destroyer,
Right.
and just go for the OTK, or even search it with Farm Girl.
You're not a fan of Pot of Desires?
I tested a little bit in this deck, but the problem is that I'm running a lot of one-offs, like Garunix, which is really important in the deck.
Right.
Island, Farm Girl, which is important for TKs. And
So
the
it
problem was I can't afford
Right.
to banish that.
Well, maybe you can sit down with Stefano Memoli, who is playing Cosmo, and he is playing a Pot of Desires, and he changed his list a little bit. But that's, of course, personal choice.
Yeah, but I saw he's playing with Demise, cards of Demise.
Yeah, it's very different from your
Yeah,
Cosmo deck.
I think it's a really different deck.
Yeah. So you prefer this version, and that is, of course, fair enough. And I mean, now you're in the semifinals. He unfortunately lost in the top 16. So, yeah, that's definitely speaking for you. What about your side deck choices here?
My side deck is a little bit strange because other than Effect Veiler and Anti-Spell, I decided to just use 9 slots for going second because I want to always side out traps and like Allure Absurd. And the good thing about going second is that I have Good Witch, which is a really good synergy card with the deck because it's not only a good offensive monster, like you can put face down a lot of strong monsters, but also is a pilot, so it works really well with the deck. Regeki or Dark Hole are just amazing. I think Dark Hole is much better than Regeki because you can destroy your own ships.
We saw that in the second game, yes.
And Twin Twister is just for back rows.
What is did you get an answer if you asked Harald, in case you did, why he would let you go first?
Yeah, I was shocked because I had the side deck for going second. He drew like
So he read you like an
Twister.
open book.
Yeah, I had no traps, so yeah. Luckily, I drew the Twin Twister, which
So
is.
in a way, it was a good decision for Harald to let you go first because you expect.
If he knew my deck list, it's a really good decision.
But still, like you said, you were pretty shocked. And
I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah. Maybe that was his reasoning. Maybe he thought like, oh, yeah, you're not going to expect that. But the Slip Rider in the end made all the difference.
How the Dark Hole made the difference.
Yeah, that as well, yes, of course. But how did that feel? Like you're in the top 8 and it's a tight, hard-fought matchup, and then you have the Slip Rider and then you can activate Twin Twist. And at that point, it really looked like, okay, you've got this. What was that moment like?
I thought, really? But the thing is, pendulums, you need at least 2 cards to put in this pendulum zone. And if you don't have
the correct scales.
Joker or the Monkey Bird, you just need exactly 2 cards. And you had 3 cards in them. So
chances were pretty slim.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And the first game we saw you like mastering this deck completely. You were down to 200 life points in the end.
The thing is, I made a strange combo in the first game. Usually with the combo with Island, you ended up with Infinity and Lady. But I decided to make that strange board because I wanted to end up with at least as much pilots as possible and a possible Walker on the field. Because Walker is a really underrated card, but it's really good. It protects all your other pilots.
Yes, of course.
And it made a difference in
it was, yeah, it looked like a great setup for you. Harald had to basically throw everything in there to try and overcome your field. And in the end, you were still left with something.
Yeah, thanks to Land Walker.
How about, did you at some point feel like, okay, I'm not going to have enough life points?
Honestly, not. Because I calculated everything.
Oh, you saw this coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess that happens when you test the deck a lot. That at some point you're really like, yeah, I know how this works. All right. Well, what is your goal now? You're going to be happy now? Oh, I'm in the top 4. Or are you going to be like, I want to win this now?
I really want to win all the last 2 matches, but I'm going to take a rest right now.
Okay, take it one game at a time. All right. Well, thank you so much, Alberto.
Thank you too.
Best of luck in the
Thank you very much.
semifinals. It's just 2 more matches. That's maximum. Could also be just 1, but let's hope it's 2 more matches. And then you might be this year's winner of YCS Rimini.
I really hope so.
All right, guys. We're going to be back with the coverage of the semifinals. Don't go anywhere. That's it for now. See you soon, guys.